Okay, a new day. There's that baby. Alrighty, so we got a new video today that we're gonna make, and lo and behold, it's about this beast right here. Okay, so today's video is gonna be pretty interesting. One of the reasons being is because it's another performance upgrade. Well, it's not technically to increase airflow and blah blah blah, but it is a performance. I'll explain in a little bit, and you guys will see in this video. I was speaking with Hilton Tuning, and he told me something about, I told him, I was like, what is there additional that I can do? Well, obviously the intake intercooler piping, but that probably won't do much. And also he mentioned wastegate calibration, wastegate upgrade and calibration. I was like, hey, you know, you have that as a part of a tune? And he's like, yeah, it's on my website. And I went and I checked. Yeah, there is. So how he explained it to me is that the original wastegate, he can recalibrate if you upgrade it, but original wastegate, if he recalibrates the power or the boost to hold along higher RPM, the original one starts leaking, as you guys see, probably seen by the dynos and stuff. But so as he said, just upgrade if you upgrade the wastegate, we can recalibrate the tune, recalibrate the wastegate operation or whatever. So and I also spoke with Brendan that tunes our P2 cars for a 60RR. And he told me the same thing. He's like, with the upgraded wastegate, you have a possibility of making more power, and plus the wastegate will probably hold the power along, you know, the higher range of RPM, where it starts, you know, the probably maximum horsepower and torque is about 3,000 and horsepower is about 4,000, and it starts falling really fast. He's like, you have a chance of increasing your horsepower and then also keeping the horsepower along higher the RPMs, you know, along the increased RPMs, around probably 4, 5, 6,000 RPM. We'll see. I don't know how much that will help, but I mean, hey, I spoke with Hilton, so we're gonna do the tune, and I bought a wastegate from Elevate, which I'm gonna install and show you guys how to install it, and then I'll do test drive reaction and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. So I wanted to clarify something also. Hilton, like let's say you do a stage 2 tune on Hilton website, you buy it and then you do the tune upgrade with upgrades on your car. It includes everything besides, I think, actually he said, I asked him a question actually, if I go to stage 3, will I have to pay additional, you know, with the additional recalibration, you know, wastegate recalibration tune, if I have to pay upgrade? He's like, no, as long as you have the wastegate and everything upgraded on the turbo, when you upgrade it, it's all included in the stage 3 tune upgrade. So this is one of the options that you can do. Let's say you go stage 2, and then let's say you decide you want to upgrade, you know, you want to have more, you want your car to be more capable, you know, to hold boost better, not to leak, you know, for the turbo to operate better, obviously, and then hold power along higher range of RPMs and maybe possibly making more power. So this is a great upgrade even over stock turbo. So if you're planning to do even more upgrades, the wastegate is probably a really good upgrade anyway. So I'll include the link to the Hilton tuning web page where you can see the different tunes and options you can get. And then also I'll include a link to the link from Elevate to the wastegate that I bought on Elevate's website. So yeah, you can check out the description below after the video. Before I start showing you guys the unboxing stuff, showing everything that's included in the wastegate purchase, this I also forgot to mention that this wastegate is a fast-acting actuator. So it's a fast-acting wastegate that reacts to your gas pedal a lot quicker. So it boosts a lot quicker than this original one, where if the original one, you know, took longer to respond, this one will be a lot quicker than that. So I just wanted to put that in there. I love how Elevate includes a bunch of stickers with their stuff when they send you stuff. That's awesome. All right, so it comes just in a package like this. Well, obviously packaged in a box, in a big box that I ordered. Wastegate actuator, obviously with the 2 nuts there. One that's yeah, obviously you guys, it's on the turbo, you know how it is, like, you know, that's how you adjust it, the wastegate. with those 2 nuts there. And then you got 2 bolts. That's to bolt the wastegate, I'm guessing, and then a few zip ties and a high quality silicone hose. Alrighty, so I guess let's get started. I'll show you guys how to access. So my plan is I kind of climbed underneath and I looked where the wastegate is. Obviously I messed with this one. I tightened it a little bit when I was tuning before, so I know where it is. But I put it on the drive-on ramps. I kind of plan to put the jack under there, jack it up a little more, take this wheel off so I can have better access. So I can put one hand on this from this side and one hand from underneath, so I have better access to the bolts there. I can access the 2 nuts pretty easily with the little small 10mm wrench, I believe it is 10 or 12, one or the other. So, and then the other 2 I never really pay too much attention how hard it is to access that. But from the looks, I'll be taking the wheel off and then probably taking the clips off the fender liner, kind of pulling it back a little bit so I have access there. I was thinking about taking the oil trap off here, but for now I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it for now, but we'll see. If it gets too annoying, too hard to do it that way, I'll just take the oil trap off and then just do it that way. I don't know if that'll even make it easier or not. So I guess you guys will find out. Quality billet aluminum wastegate, man, this is awesome. Actually, look at the construction quality on that. Wow. Well, obviously the original one looks like any other wastegate, just cheap quality, you know, crappy one, but this is actually really nice. I should have upgraded it in the beginning. Why not? This is quality right there. And one of my favorite parts purchasing stuff from Elevate is their instructions. Like everything they sell, whether it's made by them or they sell stuff like this one probably here, you know, the what company is that? TurboSmart wastegate. Everything they sell, they include the list of instructions. Like this is literally for anybody. Look at this. Like, look at those detailed instructions with photos. Like, man. So they do tell you to take the oil trap off right there. Resonator there. So they tell you to remove the resonator. I also obviously don't have that. I have the snap piping now, so there's no resonator there anymore. So that right there. So, and then they tell you also to remove the fake firewall that's right there. I don't plan on doing that. But if you're a beginner and you kind of want to do this yourself, you might want to follow the instructions. I used to work on cars for quite a while, so I'm pretty familiar, you know, on how to get around things without taking everything apart. So I'll try to do it without even taking the oil trap off and see if that's possible. But this right here would make your life a lot easier. It will take probably more time, maybe sometimes it's even worth just, you know, following the instructions. It's a lot quicker, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes if you do a shortcut, it saves you a lot of time. So I'm taking the shortcut. That's my way. But yeah, anyways, Elevate also includes like a good list of instructions, like right here, photos. Like this is actually really amazing. Like I don't see a lot of companies actually taking their time to make you this kind of instructions. I mean, especially, you know, there's not a lot of stuff out there for the P3 models. And man, look at this. I think they're actually, wait, oh no, they don't tell you to remove the turbo, but I think they just took a photo of the turbo out of the vehicle, so that way you can see what they're talking about in the instructions. But man, this is actually really cool. I really appreciate this from Elevate. That's that's a thumbs up right there. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys where it is. So as you guys can see right there, right above the axles, where the axle is right there, you see that peeking out right below that hose there, right above the rusty axle right there. That's the valve, the wastegate actuator. That's actually a lot easier than doing that right there, than doing the GFB diverter valve. That actually looks much easier access and a lot less bolts. Well, I think one bolt less. So probably most likely gonna be doing it from here. I'm not gonna be taking all that off, which probably will, like I said, this would make my life a lot easier. But since I can access this and I got the right tools, bunch of extension, wobbly sockets and all that. So I'll be working from here, and then I'll use the 10mm small wrench to take off the two nuts right there, those nuts off the turbo, those right there. So I'll take those 2 bolts off with an extension and a wobbly. At least I'm going to try to, and then I'll unbolt the nuts from the turbo actuator valve, and then just pull the diverter valve out. I mean the wastegate. Oh my goodness, I keep. Okay, I finally got it out. Okay, so the story is so far what story? I managed to get the wastegate loose through here with an extensions and actually 1/4 inch and a 10mm one of these, but just a 10mm and a 1/4 inch and then a 3/8. I managed to get on both of the bolts, take them off, and then 10mm on this guy right here. You got the outer one off, and got a pry bar, pushed the hose off, and just pulled it, pulled it out of the lever on the turbo. And then, as you guys can see, I still had to pull this out because there's no other way to get this guy out from behind side nowhere. There's so much hoses and pipes there that just no way that I can take this out. So once I got this snap pipe out, and if anybody's case, anybody that doesn't have this guy, is going to be a muffled pipe. You're going to have to remove your intake pipe, the stock one, and then also the muffler or for the turbo is like a U, or like, I don't know, what do you want to call it, that little pipe, the J pipe that's right there that goes on the turbo. You're gonna have to remove that, so that way you have room to take this out. But just so you guys can see in comparison how garbage the original one looks compared to this one, and well, this one is much heavier too. It's probably, I would say, double the weight, but this thing is solid. Like, this thing looks really good. You're gonna have to upgrade one of these if you're gonna have some major plans. If you want your car to make power and hold boost good, you're gonna have to upgrade one of these. So I want to show you guys. So the wastegate hose is this one here. So this is the way the electronic boost controller right here. So then the wastegate is this guy right here, this hose, the green one with the green notch on it. So it's like right on the bottom. Well, actually, yeah, it's the one on the bottom of it, because there's one on the left side and the right side, and there's one on the bottom. So that's the one that goes to the wastegate. And we got a high quality silicone hose from Elevate. So we're gonna swap this guy out right here for this one, and we're gonna start putting the new diverter valve. I mean, a wastegate, excuse me. And you always get in there. So, and then I'll explain to you guys, well, that it's in the instructions to explain to you guys how to set it properly. But yeah, I pulled this out. This one's, this has a lot more pressure. This is a lot more durable compared to that one. Okay, so as you guys can see, right there, right above the axle, right there, the silver and black, I got the wastegate in there. I got the bolts tight. I got the outer nut on, and then setting the wastegate actuator, the preload. So you gotta move the lever all the way towards the wastegate. Tighten this nut with your fingers until it holds the wastegate lever with no slack, and then that pretty much closes the valve inside the turbine housing. Then you just get a Sharpie, mark the nut on the bottom, and then you tighten the outer nut 2 full churns. So when the mark comes down twice, 2 full churns, and then that tightens it, and then you just move the nut inside and secure it pretty much. So the instructions are all here. So this is just if you guys got any other wastegate from anybody else, but if you guys are gonna get, you know, the Elevate one from Elevate, the wastegate, all the instructions are gonna be with the wastegate actuator. So this is a great, you know, instruction manual right here. So if any of you guys are wondering, you know, how to do this, this is going to be all in here. I'm doing it a little differently. I'm just removing the piping right here because I got snap piping, so I'm just removing this and getting it through there. I'm not touching the fake firewall or the oil trap. I'm not touching any of that. So I just remove this, and then you remove the wheel, and then yeah, I got it out. So, and then now I installed it. So now I'm just going to set the preload on the wastegate. All right, I take that back. Of that being easier than doing the diverter valve. The diverter valve was a lot easier for me. Well, at least, well, I mean, I had two people. This one I kind of was doing it myself. It's quite a quite a bit of work. For everything is just so tight. Like, I mean, the work itself. Look at my hands. Ooh boy. The work itself is not a lot of work. It's just getting to everything. It's just everything's just so tight. I mean, it's possible with the right tools. You have to give a bunch of wobblies, extensions. So, man, it's just, yeah. Swap. If you pull the intake hose that I pulled off that I showed you guys, it makes the wastegate, pulling it in and out, it really easy. Getting the nut on the lever, or what do you want to call it, on there started. Once you put it through the turbo lever there, it's kind of a pain to get on, and then everything else is pretty easy. Other than that, I mean, it's just like putting the hose on, like as simple as putting the hose on the wastegate. It took a long time. It just wouldn't go on. It's just so little space there. You just stuck your hand, like it's squishing your hand, and you try to put it on. So, I mean, it's what, like probably in 2 hours into this, if not. So I'm more like 4 or 5 hours into this, but I mean, I just took some breaks, and so I wasn't like, you know, fully committed to just doing everything. But you know, I was here and there. But man, it took a long time. I didn't know it took that long, but it's a pain to do. It's not easy to do. For me to sit here and say, oh, it's a piece of cake. No, it's not. On like S60Rs, like all the P2s. Oh my, I would have swapped the turbo already. With the whole turbo, everything would have been done in this same amount of time. I would have swapped the turbo in the P2R. So these are quite a bit harder to work on than the P2Rs. It's the same concept. It's just you have a lot less room working in there. So, anyways, I'm really happy I got it on there. Everything's together. I put the pipes back on, the hose in, tightened everything. So everything is looking good now. So now it's just I gotta get a computer and flash it, and then drive it around and, you know, log it and send some logs to Hilton and see what he thinks. If he thinks it's all good, maybe he'll make a few revisions for the wastegate calibration. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be all good. So, oh boy, I'll probably finish this video doing the tuning and doing the driving and everything tomorrow, because right now I'm hungry and I'm gonna go inside. I just wanted to get it together. This is on the jack stand, so it should be fine. I'll just leave the car probably like this overnight, so it should. All right, you guys, so I got the file from Elevate. So right now, as you guys can see, it's flashing. So I'm about to flash it, and I'm gonna go for a test drive. I'm gonna log in, send Hilton the logging, you know, file, and see what he thinks. Maybe he'll make some revisions. If not, we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys something. This is a graph. This is the first line that goes all the way up. This one is from our dyno. As you can see, we kind of floored it on the dyno a little bit earlier, but this one, the solid line, is the one that I went and logged on the street itself, on the street after install of the Elevate wastegate, Turbo Smart wastegate. So as you guys, the difference I can see is that the boost, once it built, it held quite a bit long. Well, not quite a bit. It's a bit longer, like where the stock wastegate would fall at about 3,500 RPM, and then all of a sudden it just started dropping. This one starts dropping at about 4,000 RPM, and it starts dropping slowly. But if you guys look at that right there, it's still holding a little bit better boost. And then the major one where I noticed, as Elevate also mentions on their website, is like on the maximum engine speed, which is like I think around 6,000 RPM. It kind of just goes straight again at 11 psi, and it doesn't drop behind that. So maximum engine speed, it holds boost at 11 psi, where the stock one, it just dropped to 8. So at your top end speed, like maximum RPM, the boost holds at 11 compared to the stock one at 8. So you can see here on the graph even that it kind of dropped, like it kept dropping and dropping all the way to 8 at the maximum engine speed, and the Elevate one just kind of just whoop, and then just straightened out here. So that was the two things I noticed. It kind of held boost a little longer. You can feel it when you're driving the car too. After I drove it, that the boost kind of held a little longer, and then at the top end RPM kind of held the boost also better, because the stock one only holds at maximum speed is like 8 psi, and then this one is at 11. This is only one flash from Hilton. I sent this to Hilton, so he's gonna review it. He's busy right now. He's been out of town for the holidays, so he said he'll review it. He may make some tune changes to fix this. Maybe there's a way to fix this right now, even better, but we don't know. So well, mine option, what I thought about, like if this is a issue with the wastegate, still not able to hold all the boost, if he's not able to fix this to be, to hold the boost along, all the way to, like, let's say 5,000-6,000 RPM, at least like 5-6, I would be happy. If he can, perfect. If not, I'm probably going to be looking into upgrading and putting another spring. So it's rated at the the maximum engine RPM. It's rated at 11 psi. I'm just gonna probably buy another 5 psi spring and add it to the wastegate, so that way I have about 16 psi all the way at the red line. So it's it's the boost control and the pressure is about the same along all the RPM range. Because right now it seems like they said it's gonna drop to about 11, and that's what it actually does. It does better than stock, but still. So I want it to be like around 16, not 11, but 16. Just gonna round it out to 16, and that way I'll have more power at the top end. Okay, so I just been looking through some stuff here and all that. So I just want to do an overview of why I pretty much decided to go with the wastegate upgrade. First of all, because Hilton told me that's one of the things that he does, like a tune calibration. So he's gonna be tuning this one and trying to see the best what he can do with tuning to take the full advantage of this Elevate wastegate. You don't necessarily need a tune for this wastegate. You can get this one just to have better, faster reacting actuator, and to hold boost better and all that, so your car will drive in general better with this unit. But if you want to take full advantage of it, you can also, Hilton has on his website, there's also wastegate calibrations that Hilton offers as well. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to do it. It's one of the stage 2, it's included in the stage 2 type of deal, it's part of the stage 2 upgrade that I have on my car. So I just want to see how high I can climb with the stage 2 on this car, how what the car can produce, with, let's say, with supporting mods like the wastegate. I already upgraded the diverter valve. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to upgrade this. So I upgraded it now. Hilton is a little busy now, so I thought maybe I can have it in this video where I can show you guys the full after Hilton is done with calibration and everything. But unfortunately Hilton is a little busy. He's a few days out, so after we figure this out, I will get back to you guys on this subject. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will link the actuator, the wastegate actuator, underneath this video for you guys, so if you guys wanted to purchase it, you can see it underneath my video. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.